a Google review popped up on our Google My Business page for Kajan Johnson MMA. It was a person calling themselves Camilla. They were describing an environment within our gym that called both my character and my conduct into question. Now, at first, I was extremely angered by this situation, but after thinking, I feel like it's actually a good idea to address these things, as it is very prolific within the MMA industry. Now, in regards to this specific accusation, I want to make it extremely clear that I have never and will never abuse anyone in my gym or outside my gym. This person who left this review was not from my gym. If you speak to any of the female members from within my gym, either on my fight team or otherwise, they will tell you exactly how they are treated within our walls. Every single woman that I have ever trained has always spoken highly of how they were trained, how they were included, and never felt at risk or unsafe within our environment. Now, I have been teaching women since I was very young. I used to teach at a gym called Revolution Chilliwack in about 2007 or 8. This was one of the first major teaching jobs that I had. And I trained several women out there. They could speak to my conduct and my character, as could my students today. Now, I understand that our community is extremely sensitive to this sort of thing because, unfortunately, for all of us, this kind of behavior, the toxic attitude towards women, is way more common than it should be within our industry. That's extremely unfortunate. Now, if it was ever to happen that any of my students, my instructors, were not holding themselves to the highest standard of conduct in regards to their interactions with women or men, they would be ousted. They would no longer be welcome at my gym. Not only would they be no longer welcome at my gym, but if I found out that they were abusing women on my mats, it would be very likely that they would leave bloodied and broken and never return. Now, if you're a coach and you're abusing your female students, you are a disgusting and despicable human being. I have known some of these people throughout my career, and watching from afar, have seen them become exposed. Now, some of these people I knew to be toxic, and I'd cut myself off from them. Others, I was surprised to find out that they were such horrible people. Now, if you're one of those coaches and you see me on the street, do not say hi to me. I am not your friend. I am not the friend of any abuser. Abuser of women, abuser of children. You disgust me. You are the weakest worm in all of society. Now, to the person who called me out and said that I was one of these despicable human beings, I'm pretty sure I know who you are. Those of you that train under me know that these allegations are very false. Those of you that have never had the pleasure of experiencing our community at Kajan Johnson MMA, you may be scared off by these things. But I assure you, if you come to my gym, you will be safe. There is no safer gym than mine. And all of you that are within our Lower Mainland Vancouver community, all of you that have known me for a long time, probably have a pretty good idea of who did this. There was a toxic woman that I was once connected to very deeply, and she has quite the long record of making very strong, very false accusations to coaches and fighters within the MMA community and probably the film community, talking about how they're abusive, how they're toxic, how they're this, how they're that, when in fact, she is the one that is toxic. This human being does not exist within our community. This human being does not exist within my life anymore, thankfully. Now, if any of you have any questions or comments, feel free to call the gym, to contact us through email. If you, the accuser, truly have a legitimate concern, have a legitimate issue with our gym, please reach out and we will investigate it. Because the safety and the community of our gym is of the utmost importance to all of us. And we will defend it against all of those who want to become abusers, and against anyone who would like to speak falsely of the actual environment that is Kajan Johnson MMA. Now, I know that it is quite difficult for some people to roll with women, to train with women. This is not a problem that I have, but there are some members of our gym who do not want to train with women. We welcome that. If you don't want to train with women, you do not have to directly train with women. There are many Muslim students at Kajan Johnson MMA who, due to their religion, are not able to physically touch other women. They can't roll with other women. My black belt, the person who gave me my black belt, right, Faraz Zahabi, he's like that. He doesn't roll with women. I don't have a problem rolling with women. I don't often roll with women. There's maybe 1 or 2 women in my gym that I have rolled with, but I really don't have a problem separating jiu-jitsu and human sexuality. I know that a lot of jiu-jitsu positions can look sexualized to somebody who is maybe not as far along their journey as I, or just unfamiliar with jiu-jitsu. But I've found when you do jiu-jitsu and grappling as much as I do, I'm just seeing opportunities for submission, transition, and defense. I'm not seeing body parts as sexualized. I'm not thinking sexualized thoughts while grappling. I'm thinking grappling thoughts. I'm thinking about where my triangle is available. I'm thinking about how to get to the back. I'm thinking about how to get out of the pin that I'm constantly experiencing. I'm thinking about how to stop this person from kneeling on my head. I don't find that difficult. And if you do, I do not judge you. For me, for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. I don't have difficulty separating these things. It's quite easy for me, in fact. Maybe that's because I was raised in a house full of women. Maybe that's because I have a very strong relationship with my mother. Maybe that's because I have 2 young daughters and a loving fiance. Now, I don't think it's exactly those things, because there's a lot of time in my life where I did not have 2 young daughters. I did not have a beautiful fiance. But I was still able to separate this stuff. So, if you have difficulty rolling with women at KJ MMA, you don't have to roll with women. Just find another guy to roll with. Maybe that means you sit out for a round here and there. No big deal. If you are a woman and you don't want to roll with men, that happens all the time too. You don't have to. If you are a woman and you don't want to roll, totally cool. There's lots of women that just show up to our gym and literally just drill technique. They don't even roll. It's totally fine. Nobody has to roll. It's all optional. Okay? Drill your technique. If you need a female drilling partner, cool. There's usually at least one other female in the room. And if there isn't and you don't feel comfortable, nobody's going to pressure you to roll. That's just the way we do things at KJ MMA. We respect everybody's boundaries. And we include everyone. It doesn't matter if you're an expert or a beginner, you're welcome in the class. And if you need a rolling partner, you put your hand up. And if anybody else needs a partner, they will also put their hand up. And boom, you have a rolling partner. Now, if you're a member of one of these toxic gyms and you feel like you're getting hit on all the time, or you're getting groped while you're rolling, if your coach is a pig, like, come to KJ MMA, all right? We are a safe community, and we will keep it that way. If an abuser ever comes into my gym, I'm gonna smash you and throw your ass out into the street. I don't stand for that, and I never will.